Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, my name's Alyssa.
And I'm Ben.
And today we wanted to kind of do a very teeny little baby pin haul because we just started collecting pins. Well, I wouldn't say we just started collecting.
We
just
bought
started
them here
seriously
and
getting into
there
it.
on our trips before. We've only been, the two of us have only been going to Disney World together for a little over 2 years now. But we really got into pins when we were in Florida. So before that, it was like 1 or 2 pins here and there.
So we used to be the kind of people who would only go on a trip and buy like event pins or like one pin to sum up the whole trip. And then this past 3 months, you're going more often. And so we started getting into a little bit more of like pin trades on boards and kind of picking up pins that we just really liked here and there. And so we wanted to do a whole collection. We have a very small pin haul here, but I think the way that we're going to do this is we're just going to kind of go top to bottom. So this is our board. She's from Target for those asking about like the actual board. I've seen a lot of people. I actually am on a pin trading page on Facebook, and I've seen a lot more people using this exact board. It's just super cute. We have it on our Disney shelf. Yeah, so we're just gonna go top to bottom so we don't lose track.
The board is from Hearth and Hand. We'll link it in the description.
Let's just get started. So I'll go first, and let me see if I can even reach this. We got little arms. Okay, so this is our first pin. So this is our first pin of the collection. It's kind of at the top of our board, and it is because it is the first bin. Okay. It is the first pin that we ever bought. This was from our very first trip. Actually, I feel like I gotta still continue holding. So this guy is from our very first trip that we went on together. I had been to Disney World plenty of times growing up, and so we got married, and it was 2022. Originally, we were gonna go to Canada for our honeymoon, but as we were kind of planning our wedding and everything, it was still so fresh after COVID that we kind of pivoted from Canada, and I brought up the idea, hey Ben, let's go to Disney World because it's in the States. There's a lot to do there and we'd stay busy and it's super fun, and Ben had never been. And we laugh about it now because Ben was so hesitant to say yes and to go to Disney. And if you knew him in real life now or on these vlogs, like, you would know he is the complete opposite. I think he has enough clothes that are Disney that he wears that literally everyone at work, everyone, in our family knows Ben as a Disney adult. And it only took this one trip for him to jump fully on board. He was so hesitant. My mom and I were like, Ben, just look up a few things about it. You'll be so into it. You will so agree with it. And he did, and we haven't looked back. And so to me, this is just our little pin from our honeymoon, and it just signifies that fun first trip where this is where everything got started for you. And I got to witness Ben and his childhood, basically.
Yeah, you definitely created a monster because now I do all the planning and you just show up. I love it.
And let's be clear, that's kind of how it was on the honeymoon as well. It literally took Ben probably 24 hours to start researching Disney and then to be like, Alyssa, did you know we can do X, Y, and Z?
Okay, I'll go next because this is going to be easily a 2-hour vlog for just this little amount of pins if we don't hurry. All right.
Good luck when we get more.
Next pin is personally one of my favorite pins, and this is also from the honeymoon. I think this is the only other pin that we got on the honeymoon, but it is this one right here. It is the 50th anniversary Disney Parks pin with Mickey and Minnie in their 50th gear and the castle in the back and all that. I think that was the best anniversary merch that they've ever come out with. The iridescent colors. And it probably also is just very sentimental too, because that was our honeymoon and that was also my first trip. But I am obsessed with that collection and everything from it. It's awesome. I love it. And it's just a nice big pen too. I like the blue and the gold together. It's really cool.
Ben is now known as Ben Nye the Disney guy or Ben Nye the merch guy, and it's specifically for the 50th anniversary, seeing as like Enchantment was a thing, which is our favorite of the castle shows, which is kind of a hot take, but also just the merch was so good. There was a ton of merch and the vibes, I mean, obviously just being on my honeymoon and everything, but it was just such a fun time. I feel like it felt like a big celebration, especially for Disney after opening up after COVID, and so shortly after throwing this big, anniversary celebration. It just, I don't know, it kind of signified like,
We're back,
Disney's,
baby.
yeah, Disney's at its peak again. I also have to add, the 50th anniversary also brought us Harmonious, which I will forever love her. I will forever miss her.
I'm very, very, very salty that they got rid of Harmonious. And that I will always make a comment about that because I think the Luminous barges are just as ugly and they leave them out there just as much.
I think they've started boating them in. I don't know. Don't quote me.
All I know is last time we were there when we went to see Luminous, those barges were there all day. So
next up is one that I'm taking for the team because this is one of Ben's least favorite pins, and it's purely.
I feel like Disney did so good with the 50th,
And then the 100th
all that merch,
came around.
and then the 100th came around. I guess they used all of their marketing budget on the 50th or something, but I don't know.
And so it's purely only because of a a design flaw almost, but it's Mickey and Minnie, and I'm describing this one before I show it because I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick it up. It's a white diamond background. There's actually a silver castle within the white diamond, and it's Mickey and Minnie, and it says Disney 100 at the bottom.
Somewhere someone okayed white on white for a pin.
Yeah, it's... So I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try and get it closer.
There we go.
So that's the pin. And yeah, I don't even think that the camera's picking it up. But we, of course, wanted to get a Disney 100th pin that kind of celebrated, that big landmark anniversary for the entire Disney company as a whole. I think that they went harder for the Disney 50th anniversary because it was a specific Disney World event, right? A Disney World anniversary. This one was kind of like the entire company as a whole. So I don't really know, but the pins that they were very limited on pins, and so I think it was literally just like the platinum looking characters that were just standalone pins that you could buy, or this one, or I think there was like a Chippendale one, but we picked that one, and that's all I'm going to really say about it. We loved that trip. We actually went with my parents on that trip.
That was our second Disney trip.
And my mom is also a Disney fanatic. Thank you, Dad, for having patience with us all the time because you have 3 Disney lovers in the family, and we all know you're having a good time too.
Next pin is one kind of random pin, but also kind of cool. It's this one right here. It is for the Millennium Celebration in Epcot. For those of you who might know what it was, they had the Parade of Nations or something like that in World Celebration or whatever it was called back at the time, and they had these people here. They were kind of like on stilts and stuff like that, and they walked around. This pin came about because, fun fact, I was born in 2000. I'm a little spring chicken, so I was like, okay, well, let me just see if there's a Disney pin from 2000.
Do you know what I just realized, though?
What?
This year's the 25th anniversary of pin trading as a
whole.
So
that pin's...
And so this is from literally the first year of Disney pin trading and pins, I think.
So, yeah. So, anyways, I got that pin to commemorate that.
Good job. So, my next pin is from 2023. It's from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I wanted to show off this pin purely because of the fact that it was our first party that we attended, like after, I guess, ticketed event, like private ticketed event or something like that. And it was super fun. We went with my parents because we were all on that vacation, and my parents had actually done it before, so it was sweet getting to hear them be like, oh, it's super fun, and like they give you bags for candy and stuff.
Yeah, because they went in 2022, like a month or two after our honeymoon by themselves, and they did the Halloween party, and they were telling us like, cool, we got to do it.
Yes.
So we went in 2023.
My mom retired, I think like a month before our wedding, and so her and my dad went on a kid-free Disney trip as her retirement thing, and they went around the time that kids were going back to school, and so they just had a blast, and the Halloween party, and they absolutely loved it, and so we were like, oh, we have to do it next year when we all go together, and it was really fun. We loved the parade, and it was just cool getting to have access to rides with minimal wait times.
So next up from that same trip, we also went during the Food and Wine Festival, so we picked up this pin here, which I think is fun. It's kind of unique because it's kind of tall and skinny.
I will say,
and I think I know what you're going to say. Food and Wine is our least favorite festival.
unfortunately, the food is so good there, but it is so hot, and all of the dishes there were like soups or hot foods or meats and stuff, and there's just something about 100-degree August Florida weather that you can barely stand to walk outside and eat on the trash cans, let alone eat soup and hot bread on a trash can. And so, not one of my favorite festivals, but it was fun, and obviously, like, with that, there comes a long-standing memory of us just being absolutely burning up and quite literally eating winter foods. And so I think it was super funny. I get what they were trying to do. Like, the flavors were all good. They're supposed to be like fall flavors, but Disney World just doesn't have fall. They just have summer, and then right into December, it's a little bit of winter for a week or two. My next pin, this one honestly is one
Despite us saying that Food and Wine is our least favorite festival,
we're
back.
Did it again, yeah. We went in 2024. This was while we were there for my clinical for the 3 months. This we got whenever my parents surprised me by coming over to Florida. We all had like a little weekend trip together where we did Epcot on Saturday and then Typhoon Lagoon on my birthday on that Sunday. Yeah, this one's just a really cute pin. I just like Mickey and Minnie on it. It's a pin on pin because it's got like that little layered effect. Here, I'll show again. So it's Mickey and Minnie, and they're just having a picnic. And I like the green color behind it. You can see like the Epcot ball in the background and all the little countries. But yeah, I feel like this was also like a much more manageable Food and Wine festival that we did with them. Like, it wasn't as hot as 2023 because 2023 was pretty rough.
I remember that summer being incredibly hot.
And so it's super sweet because it reminds me of that trip. It was also our very first pass holder pin that we got. And so that was exciting just to be able to buy our first little bit of pass holder exclusive merchandise.
Okay, so I will go next. And this is also from the time that we were in Florida, but this is from the end of our time in Florida. We actually do have a vlog from this, and this was from our Thanksgiving trip when we stayed at Wilderness Lodge. We went and did the Festival of the Holidays, the first day of Festival of the Holidays, and we pick up this pin here, and it is the pass holder pin for Epcot for Festival of the Holidays, and we got to see Josh Gad do the candlelight processional, and that was just super fun because I remember it was super cold that day, like freezing cold. We had to go buy the blanket when we were waiting for Josh Gad to come out because it was like bone chilling, and we cannot handle the cold.
We like the cold.
That one was fun. All the food was great, and I think that is like 1A, 1B tied for our favorite festival because it was just magical, and we love Christmas. So
I'll go next. So our next
pins
going down the board here is our one and only full complete collection, and that is from the mystery pin packs, and this is the Joey Choo collection. And so we kind of got hooked on this one. We were at Hollywood Studios one day, and I had seen the collection and was like, you know what, these pins are kind of cute. I'm just going to get one.
This is our first ever mystery box that we've done.
Yes. We picked the pin pack, and I was looking on the box, and I was like, man, I want the partner statue and the orange bird pin. Those were like the top two on that like set that I wanted. Ben took one pin, I took the other. We were sitting down at a table over near like Fairfax Fair. Wouldn't you know, the first two pins and the only two pins that came out of that box were the partner statue and orange bird. And that was just such a high,
what a high.
It was really a rush. It was the first mystery box set. We got the exact two that we wanted, and we were like, well, shoot, now we have to collect the rest of them. And so we did. So we ended up getting 2 more pin packs of the Joey Choo collection while we were there on our trip. And we did not have a single duplicate. We ended up getting 6 of the 8 pins just from the 3 sets, which I feel like has to be some sort of lottery for Disney, because that was amazing. We had pulled the Dumbo pin, the Tinkerbell pin, Stitch, and the Cheshire Cat. So we got back home. We were back in Texas. We love to watch Brianna Woodbine's videos at home on her Disney trips and everything. And she vlogged about how she pulled she pulled the Pirates pin that we needed. And so I commented, and she was like talking about the collection, how she liked the collection and everything like that. And so I commented on it saying like, oh, we love this collection too. These are the ones that we need left. I kind of explained the story, and she ended up telling me to DM her so we could do a pin trade. And I was so excited. And we did a trade, a little mail-in trade, and I thought it was really cool how we got to do that.
I'm going to go with this one because,
for
obvious reasons, we actually didn't get this one on our 2022 trip. We got this one when we were in Florida for 3 months. Which is so bizarre. Because we saw it and we were like, oh my gosh, our favorite show, we need to get it. It's the Harmonious pin.
What are the odds that they would have that pin in 2024? Like 2 years after they absolutely got rid of the show and it was so controversial.
But yes, this is our favorite Epcot show. And when we saw that pin, we were like, we need to get it to have something to commemorate it.
So then this guy, I actually ended up getting this one in 2022 when we went.
Yes. Little info about Alyssa. Her mom's side of the family is from Norway. So she is Norwegian. She resonates very much with Elsa and Anna and Frozen.
I'm 2 letters away from Elsa.
Take away 2 letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yes, it is this Norway pin, and I like this pin specifically. They have a ton of Norway pins, but this collection I think is so absolutely beautiful. I like the navy blue and orange. When you go into the, I forgot what the shop is called, like the bakery, they actually have a plate that's in this exact style. It looks like it was made from this collection. I'm pretty sure that's what the collections are based on. And this is just something so niche that I would know, like that I would notice about it.
Okay, so next is, I think this is the only other pin I forgot about that we got on our honeymoon. And I ended up picking this one out because I fell in love with Epcot when we were there. That is my favorite park of all time. Also, it was right after like a month or 2 after Guardians of the Galaxy opened. So we were just riding the high. And it's simple. And I'm pretty sure you can find it on a lot of pin boards these days. But it's just a nice, simple little Epcot Mickey pin. And I love it.
So this one was actually from a pin board. Can't remember what we traded for it. But it's another Norway pin. And we actually found this one at the KidCot section. So they have like this little craft stand inside of the Norway gift shop. And we saw this guy sitting there. And she's a big, hefty pin.
It's the open edition one for the Norway Pavilion, right?
I don't know. I guess so.
I think so.
So it was kind of one of 2 of the pins that we like found that are like an off the rack pins, which are really nice. They're like $15 each. They're not like the traders or the scrappers that people will put on the board. And so we noticed that one, and Ben was like, you absolutely have to trade for it. And so I absolutely did trade for it. And yeah, it was just
absolutely.
It was just a good pin trade find.
Next up, we've got the second, as she alluded to, of the kind of open edition pins that we found on pin boards. If you saw our other vlogs, you know that we hit the quote-unquote jackpot with pin boards on our Thanksgiving trip. So the Viking one, and then this one here, it's a Small World pin that I think came out towards the end of last year.
So next up, we have this little guy. I am almost positive that it could be a scrapper. Actually, I don't really know. It's still
fake.
Thick, but
it's pretty thin.
It's a scrapper pin, but this was quite literally our very first ever pin board trade.
Next up, we've got, I think our second pin board trade. Another trade that we made was for this guy right here, Mickey Waffle, because You know, you go to Disney World and you have to get Mickey waffles.
Next up, we just have 2 more pins from another little collection. We're going to actually share them at the same time.
That's the Play in the Park series.
Mm-hmm. So we have the Pirates one and the
Magic Teacups.
Teacups one.
The Magic Teacups. The teacups.
And it's just a cute collection. I feel like it was very brightly colored. We might continue this one if they still have it. I'm not quite sure.
Now is the Alyssa show. You can show off your little mini collections here.
Growing up, I remember watching Emperor's New Groove and absolutely loving it. I think that the movie is so entertaining and engaging, and so yeah, it's absolutely one of my favorite Disney movies, if not tied for first. But yeah, so first up we have, I'm going to go kind of quick with these because it's just a whole collection. We have, of course, the king himself, Cusco in llama form, and he's actually holding the Pooh's...
He's holding the Poohs. Crossover, Winnie the Pooh's here, and he turned him into a llama.
Hold on! He's holding the poison specifically for Cusco in his little...
Cusco's poison.
In his little hoof. Anyways, so I absolutely love that pin. Yeah, it's just straight off the rack. No trade, no nothing super special other than I need every Emperor's New Groove pin that there is because I love it.
All three of these you bought.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one? Okay. So the next one is the culprit herself who turned Cusco into a llama, and it's Yzma. So I got Yzma at our local Disney store. So we live in a city where we have one of the remaining few official Disney stores in. The last one in my collection, because it's very, very new, is Krunk. And it's the one where he's like, oopsies. It's the one that says squeaky squeak, squeaker squeakin', like all over him. And it's whenever he's dressed up as a little scout leader thingy and he's talking to the squirrel and he's teaching the little scout kids that how to speak squirrel. And so this is from the end credit scene of the movie, and my brother and I would literally quote that to each other all the time. So the next one is another off the rack pin. She is Humongo, and I don't know what the collection's called, but it's like all the little sidekicks, and it's from my very all-time favorite movie.
I think it is the
Frozen.
Sidekick series.
Olaf is by far my favorite Disney character of all time. My next one is also from our Disney store, and it is Anna and Olaf. And it's just a really pretty pin. I like the background, all purpley and everything. But I actually haven't ever seen this pin in Disney, and so I'm not sure. It just says authentic Disney pins. So I'm not sure where it is. It's actually from 2025, so it's brand new. The last one for the Alyssa show is my cutie little Sven.
That you traded for?
That I traded for. And I thought he was fake. Actually, he might still, just because that's not very crisp. I don't really know if he is or not. But he was also from like one of the first few pin board trades.
Next up are our traders. This is one that we just pulled off a board and kind of like it. It's Pain and Panic. We'll rapid fire these.
Yeah, I was going to say these aren't necessarily our traders because I do want to keep Pain and Panic. I also want to keep this one. It's Maleficent.
We're starting a villains collection.
Yep.
Apparently.
And so, I mean, I think
I'm down for it.
And so that's Maleficent.
All right, next up is another one that's going to go in the villains collection, I guess, and it's just Iago. I'm pretty sure this came from a lanyard set.
So the next one we have is from the Disney Dog series. Another thing about me is I love dogs. And so this is Copper. I actually don't really like The Fox and the Hound because I think it's an absolute tragic movie. And it fully made me cry as an adult because the old lady abandons the fox.
All right, next up, one that probably will be a trader, although WALL-E is one of my favorite Pixar movies, It's Bernie from Wall-E.
And then this little guy, I got him with copper. I think I got a few of these packs, but this is another little dog. And this is actually Mulan's dog.
All right, so next up is our holiday pins. And first up, I'm going to go with this one, is one that we got from a cast member who was doing trivia. And the trivia was, what are the 3 caballeros? And we got that one. And they had this Donald pin, which it's Valentine's Day. And he's upset because there's no more Valentine's Day cards there.
Because he waited too long.
This pin is a limited edition 1500 from 2003. Mm-hmm. It's got the old back and all that. Keeping on the Valentine's Day theme, Alyssa, go ahead.
Okay. We have another little hidden Disney. It's Stitch, and it's a Valentine's Stitch. I absolutely love Lilo and Stitch. I just don't understand the Stitch hype of why he has to be on every piece of merch that Disney comes out. Like,
next up, continuing with the holiday theme, this one is also from our Thanksgiving trip, but it's also kind of a Christmas pin because at the time when we went, we stayed at Wilderness Lodge and they had the tree up for Christmas and everything was decorated. And so we wanted to get a pin to commemorate being there with the Christmas tree. And so they came out with these holiday kind of present pins, and it is a kind of sliding pin. So it opens like that and has a magnet to keep it open. And it's got Chip and Dale under there.
So then our last of the holiday pins is this guy here, and it's our Thanksgiving pin. And so this one is a limited release, and it's a pin on pin, super nice quality. But it's from Thanksgiving, and if you watched our last vlogs, Thanksgiving looked a lot different for us this year as we were 16 hours from home and family. And so we ended up going to Disney World on Thanksgiving. So we are going to be starting a new collection for all of the resorts that we've stayed at. We have stayed at, together we've stayed at Pop Century. I've stayed at a little bit more in past family trips. So we are going to go back to get a Pop Century pin eventually in the future. But we have our Wilderness Lodge pin.
Also from our Thanksgiving trip.
This is also from our Thanksgiving trip. Mickey and Minnie sitting in front of the fireplace because the fireplace is kind of an iconic little spot in that resort. They actually have like a few, I want to say, fireplaces because they have the one where it's like super quiet and you can overlook the tree in the lobby and watch the fire. And they also have the main fireplace in the lobby. And it's just such a cozy resort. I have to agree. I think it is just one of my favorite resorts that I've ever stayed at. It was both of our first deluxe resort that we ever stayed at. And I think it's just so cozy. That is going to do it for all of our pins.
If you liked the video, please subscribe down below and give it a like and comment what your favorite pin was and how many pins do you have in your collection.
Yeah, so thank you for watching, and that's going to do it for this pin haul, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.